Hi everyone, today I'm at Historics Auction at Ascot Racecourse. Beautiful day actually, and there's probably 250 or so cars here. There's absolutely tons of stuff, all the way from old Land Rovers, lots of Bentleys, Rolls Royces, modern stuff, M3s, Ferraris, Lancias, everything. Absolutely tons here. Some really great stuff, high quality stuff, also some affordable things. So this may end up being two videos because there's so many to see. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to have a look around both inside and outside and show you all the cars that interest me. So predictably, it did turn out to be two videos. If you haven't seen the first part, please do check that out on my channel. And if you enjoy this video, please do like and consider subscribing. It really does help small channels like mine. And thanks very much. Featuring this little Fiat X19, featuring it because it's quite rare for me to see them. It's also a really interesting little car, I think. So built through most of the 70s and 80s, this one's 1988, so fairly near the end of production. A tiny little mid-engine sports car, 5-speed manual, only had a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder engine, 75 horsepower, but just great value, good fun, really well looked after, 53,000 miles. No reserve. Oh, that's a great, fun, unusual little car for me. Then onto a car I've never really understood, to be honest. Plymouth Prowler. Let me know if you'd fancy this with this paintwork. Onto another low mileage Porsche. So this is a 997, 911 Carrera S. Only one owner, only 22,000 miles, with 12 Porsche stamps in the book. Loads of history. Looks in fantastic condition, I have to say, really good paintwork. This is rear-wheel drive, of course. Looks equally as good in here. Tiptronic box. Unfortunately, from my perspective, I'd only go for a manual 911 ever, I think. Although the PDKs are meant to be good now. One of my icon cars from when I used to watch rallying, Lancia Delta Integrale Evo 2. So one of the most desirable models, obviously. Limited edition colour, 1 of 200. These wheels, I just love them, so unusual. What were these? 220 horsepower from the 4-cylinder turbo. Paintwork on this is really not that good, just very orange peely. Sorry, I realise there's a bit of a dark hole in here. Interior looks good though. But yeah, this paintwork, I'm not sure whether this is factory spec or whether it's been resprayed badly. But these fetch so much money, right? Could be up to 100 grand here. So onto something much older. This I instantly recognised. It's a 1961 Bentley S2 Continental by MULLINER. I recognise it because I saw it at another auction. This is actually featured in one of my videos. Beautiful looking car. So this was actually at the Mercedes-Benz World Historics Auction. As I say, it featured in my video. Notable because the paintwork has been kept original and not resprayed deliberately. Also notable because the owner bought it in 2017 for £265,000. Proceeded to spend £30,000 on it, so he's in this for 300 grand. It's now guided here, after not selling at Mercedes-Benz World, 120 to 145,000. Just staggering loss of money, quite unbelievable really. So on to another absolutely amazing looking car. I love this. 1964 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud 3 by MULLINER Park Ward. Really rare coupe. You don't see many like this. Had a ton spent on it recently. Yeah, really, really nice car. I love the colour. Just so stylish, isn't it? Wow. I think normally I'd take the Bentley, but this Rolls Royce is really beautiful, this coupe version. So a much more modern Bentley, obviously, ARNAGE. This is a red label Mulliner. This is in the must-have peacock blue colour for me. Only 2 keepers. Got an excellent history, looks a really good example. There are some dodgy ones of these now. They've got 20 years old. This is 2004, but this is a good one. Burr walnut everywhere, of course. This beautiful cream leather, looks unmarked. It's guided at 18 to 21,000 pounds, which is high end for what these sell for. I'm not saying it's not worth it, because it is a really good example, but there's quite a lot available for less money. Look at those dials, etc. Yeah, I do love these. It's definitely on my shopping list. I think it's a great era. Look at the carpet. What car do you get carpet that thick with? I think this could be a great value car. Ferrari FF. This is 2012, 58,000 miles. So this is a successor to the Scaglietti, 6.3 litre V12, loads of carbon. These were £250,000 when new. I think this could be a proper bargain. So this is another interesting car that I've seen before. I saw this one at the Iconics race car auction. So it's a Carrera 2.7 RS EVOCATION, 1976. So it's got the 2.7 engine. It's a USA car that was imported, full respray in 2019. Didn't sell, I can't remember the guide price. And another one that's featured in a previous video of mine, actually. I can't remember the guide price then. It's now guided at 48 to 54. Then onto a beautiful looking car, Mercedes 280 SL Pagoda. Not the right colour for me, but that's just taste. It's got the desirable 2.8 litre inline-6 engine, of course. This is a Canadian car imported in 2013, barely used since. It's in really excellent condition. Guided at 80 to 95,000 pounds. You know, it is an absolutely lovely car. It's top end though at that price, I think, in the current climate. Brilliant to see this. I don't see too many of these either. 1967 Aston Martin DB6. Sorry, the light is terrible down this end. This has had a ton spent on it. 4 litre engine was rebuilt in 2010. 280 horsepower. It's pretty good going for mid-60s. It's got the 5-speed ZF manual. Full respray in 2022. Very good condition with a ton spent. I love the dash. Guided 165 to 205,000 pounds. This is a gorgeous looking car. I still love the Vanquish. I think this has aged remarkably well. 2003, this car. This is the 2+2 variant. So a couple of what they call seats in the back. V12 manual spec apparently, so it was a dynamic pack or something with the upgraded steering, brakes, suspension, etc. But crucially for me, I think the S had 510 horsepower, didn't it? So, you know, the big thing this is missing for me is 50 horsepower. Onto another Porsche, so a 1994 993 Cabriolet. I think this is a great era. I'm not a huge Porsche fan, just perhaps because I don't know so much about them, but this is one I'd get. Last of the air-cooled, right? Looks good, fairly well worn, I'd say. Just shy of 100,000 miles, and they want 36 to 42,000 for this. Externally looks really good. Skipping past this Caterham, I always got a soft spot for Caterham. I own a GBS Zero. Oh, and try not to walk into the pillar. But I actually came to see this Mercedes SL65, so another one at this auction. This is 2004, the crazy V12 bi-turbo, 600 horsepower, 735 pound-foot beast of a car. 39,000 miles. This is guided at 68 to 78,000 pounds. I haven't seen one sell anywhere near that kind of money, so can't see this selling. I absolutely love them, but I think they're just way overpriced. There's some pretty massive bills on these cars as well. But yeah, I really do want this engine. It's a bucket list engine for me, having owned the 5.5 version of this. So another TR6 as well. Interesting to see how this one goes. This is a Concours winning TR6. Had a full frame-off restoration in 2016. It's a 1971 car. Guided at 22 to 26,000. So interesting to see what the market thinks of this with a couple of other much cheaper, but probably less good condition TR6s. So here's a 1957 Triumph TR3. Something I very rarely see. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. These low doors, what a look, how stylish. 2 litre, 100 horsepower, had loads of work and a 5-speed box put in here. Yeah, what a car. That design is so sleek. So iconic car here, obviously much more modern. For the PlayStation generation, I loved this car back in the day. Nissan SKYLINE, obviously R34. So 1999. These had a 2.6 litre twin turbo, famous engine. 73,000 miles, apparently fairly standard other than exhaust and suspension. As standard, what, 280-ish horsepower, but who knows what they really made with the Japanese agreement at limiting power. These sell for crazy money. You know, seen these sells for 100 grand or more. This one's guided at 90 to 110 actually, so sorry, extremely dark in there. We'll move on. And onto a Golf, a 1984 Mark I Golf GTI, 165,000 miles this one, so very high mileage. It's had 30 grand spent on it. It says it's in superb condition. I mean, it is largely good condition, but you know, it's not perfect. So this is the 1.6. Yeah, I mean, I'd expect it honestly to be slightly better for having had 30 grand spent on it, but there we go, guided at 14 to 18,000. I mean, it's good value if it's had that much spent on it. Just a very quick look at these Morris Minor vans before I head out, just because I love them. So out in the sun, Bentley Continental, 2007 GTC. This is a lovely looking example. All the right colours here. 600 horsepower W12 twin turbo, only 19,000 miles on it. A FROGEYE Sprite, no reserve, not driven since the 1990s. Obviously not in top-notch condition, there's some work to do there. Yeah, quite a bit of rust, but we'll see what that sells for. Onto a Jaguar XKR. This is 2008, so X358 era. Only 31,000 miles, rare to see such a low mileage example. In excellent condition. I love these. I've got a similar car, XJ Super V8 X350, so 2003. Yeah, that interior is lovely, similar colour to mine. So the Super V8 is arguably a bit of a better car. Still got the burr walnut, etc. But actually for me, the XJR is probably the better car because it's got the sportier suspension setup, which I tend to prefer. Really nice example. So come to see this SL600 2003. So this is the 5.5 litre twin turbo V12, similar to the SL65, which AMG bought out to 6 litres. I owned this engine in a similar era, same year in fact, S600. This one has got some electrical gremlins. It's on charge. You know, they're a bit of a nightmare with electrics this era Mercedes, I have to say, on the S-Class and SLs. So high risk. This looks in lovely condition though, loads of history, 78,000 miles. Beautiful interior. R32, so this is 2006. These suffer really badly from rust on the arches, etc. This one looks all right. 3.2, 250 horsepower, DSG box and four-wheel drive, of course. Only 24,000 miles. Yeah, very rare to see one this low miles. These are making some fairly decent money now. The good ones, at least. So we've come to see this Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. These were 6-cylinder, 150-ish horsepower on SU carbs. This has got some history. Not a huge amount, I don't think. Paintwork looks excellent. Look at this interior, just absolutely beautiful in here. Lovely car. Past the slightly odd Renault Avantime. And onto this quite rare, actually, Daimler. This is believed to be the only remaining example. 1948 Daimler DB18 shooting brake, nicknamed Woody for obvious reasons. Past this pretty cool looking pickup, not my thing, but pretty distinctive. To this Jensen Interceptor. Love the colour of this. Mark III, obviously, I think when they brought the convertible in. Pretty rare to see convertibles of these, at least it is for me. This had the 7.2 V8, huge great engine, 330 horsepower, only 25,000 miles. Lovely looking car. And the sublime to the ridiculous is a Hummer H1 1997. Just absurd cars, really. Obviously started life as military vehicles. This has got a V8 petrol in it. I hate to think of the MPG in this. 37,000 miles. It's definitely a statement car, isn't it? I will stick to my Land Rovers. Look at the size of it. It's just absurd. Only our American friends could make a car like this. And perhaps the German version. So Mercedes G-Wagon. Obviously an ex-military vehicle as well. I've been tempted by these, the ex-military ones, but I have an ex-military, actually a couple of ex-military Land Rovers, so I'll stick to those. This is the diesel. Is it G240, I think they were called? Well used by the military. Not clear which country this came from. Actually, the reason I haven't bought one of these is, well, I don't need one, but also, you know, you need somewhere dry to storage, and I don't have anywhere that this will fit in to store dry. So if you like risky cars, this could be the one for you. Mercedes SL55 AMG, so supercharged V8 of course. No history or maintenance records for 10 years and no gear knob. No reserve though, so. And then another SL500. This is really not in good condition. This is only 33,000 miles. Yeah, it's in pretty bad condition. Yeah, you'd have to pay me to take this one, I'm afraid. BMW M3, another one. This is 2005, 100,000 miles. It's not been used much in the last 3 years, which I think may count against it. Doesn't look to be anything wrong with it. Guided at 14 to 18,000 though, seems steep to me, and there are other options here. Look at this Jaguar XK120, beautiful, absolutely pristine. This has undergone a 16-year restoration after being imported in the late 80s from the US. Including a $5,000 engine rebuild. So Land Rover Series 3, this one's been restored and looks very good condition. Not a fan of red myself, but that's just taste. Apparently has a celebrity owner, so famous that they didn't actually name them. Yeah, it looks really good condition. This is the petrol, so 2.25 petrol. It's had an unleaded cylinder head put on, new carbs. The Series 3's never quite picked up in terms of value, I don't think, but actually I think he's kind of the sweet spot in terms of series Land Rovers. Past the modern Subaru and Volvo, and came to see this Jaguar 420. These go so cheaply now. 52,000 miles on this one. 4.2 litre inline six, of course, 245 horsepower, so pretty pokey for this kind of car back in the 60s. The engine, of course, from the E-Type and the XK. Decent history on this. As I say, yeah, there's quite a lot of, I wonder if that's damp. These could be huge value for money. Another series Land Rover, this is a 2A 1969. I actually have a series 2 and a series 3 in fact. So I always like to look at these. This was restored in Kenya and then brought back to the UK fairly recently. This looks really nice condition, 71,000 miles. Sorry, I don't know how well you can see, but all looks pretty good. I like the colour, the paintwork's good. Yeah, nice looking car as well. So this Defender 110 XS 2011, loads of mods on it as you can see, 90,000 miles. It's the 2.4 litre Puma engine. I just don't particularly like this iteration of the Defender. 6-speed box, Puma engine, you know, should be better, but I prefer the kind of more rugged nature and much less comfortable earlier versions. A Jeep Wagoneer, look at this. Love it. 1988, 116,000 miles. It's come to the UK via Texas and 22 years in Japan. Rare to see this. Been in this country for nearly 10 years, fully renovated. What a beautiful looking thing. I'd love this. Just for its uniqueness, I think. So different. Really nice interior. Yeah, I can see myself in this. Some instructions there, I think. And then a Series 1. This is in average condition, let's say. You see these in all kinds of condition, from fully restored to very, very rusty. This is probably somewhere in the middle. It's got the 2 litre engine, so it's 1957, which means it's fairly later and maybe slightly less desirable model. Owned for 40 years. Interesting, this is a 2-wheel drive version ordered by the army back in the day. Yeah, lots of scrapes, etc. Could be a cheap one, I reckon. And then Land Rover Defender. This is 1990. Obviously a 110 wheelbase. It's got a rebuilt 200 TDI engine, been restored to look much more modern, obviously. It's guided at 27 to 31,000 pounds, and whilst it looks like a more modern Defender and it's been really nicely done, the fact is this is still a 1990 200 TDI and it just isn't worth that money, I'm afraid. So here is a Ford Thunderbird. No reserve car, vinyl roof, look at this. 6.4 litre V8, I imagine that made very, very little horsepower being a 60s American V8. 3-speed auto, I just came to see it. This one is in pretty bad condition, but as I say, no reserve. But it needs a lot of work doing on it. Equally as average condition inside. Well, there we go. I'm surprised actually by the number of project type cars here at this Historics Auctions. Anyway, really enjoyed it nevertheless. I like to see a range of cars and prices and conditions. I hope you've enjoyed it as well, and there'll be more auction videos coming soon.